So today I'm going to show you how to take your drums that started out sounding like this and ended up sounding like this with just 2 plugins. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to True Sound Studios. I'm Weezna. So as you guys saw, we're going to take drums that sound great, but with just 2 plugins, we're going to get those things to have a lot more compression, a lot more punch and power to be able to cut through our mix. Okay, so this is a track I put together with my friend Matt playing guitar. I did the drums and then, of course, have a bass in there. So let me just quickly go back and forth. We'll turn on and off the 2 plugins and then we'll get into the details of them. So, I mean, you guys can clearly hear the difference there. Now, the 2 plugins, they are both Softube plugins, and of course, over my obsession over years and years trying to figure out the best, plugins for drums. Now, I've been a drummer for about 25 years, and I pretty much started a studio as soon as I started drumming. And of course, drums have always been my thing. So I love recording them. I love, making drum samples. I love mixing them. I love doing all the things. At some point, you just to kind of find different plugins and different processes that work really well. These 2 plugins are on literally every single drum bus that I've ever done for at least since these plugins have came out, and I probably got them, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. So the 2 plugins being the Softube bus processor, which is a really great sounding and very flexible compressor with a bunch of sidechain options. It also has a saturator, and then it also has this spatial down here where you can add air, you can widen or narrow the mix, and then also mono out all the low end of the track. And then the other plugin is the Softube Weiss MM-1, the digital mastering maximizer. And this loud setting and the punch setting are the ones that I use, kind of go back and forth between, and we'll get into all those different settings. So to start, I will turn off the maximizer. We'll keep this one off for right now. We're just going to work with the bus processor, show you guys what this can do. So right here, this sidechain low cut, so this is allowing some of the lows to not actually trigger the compression on here. And sometimes, depending on, what you're mixing or, what you're going for, you could keep this off, but it's nice to not have that low end trigger the compression constantly. So you kind of have to balance it out between your kick and snare. So this spatial section is really awesome. Now, this plugin is on the mix bus, and so we're sending the drums, the guitar, and bass through it. So by widening this, we are going to change the overall mix of this track. As we push the sides out, we're going to get more of the guitars because they're kind of fairly wide, and then our hi-hat is kind of off to one side as well. So that's what's kind of changed there. So a little widening, goes a long way. You can hear when you push it way too hard, it doesn't sound good. Monoing out the bass so we have more center focus on that kick drum is really kind of like the big deal. And of course, we can add a little air. I don't really think this needs much brightness. The track overall is bright enough. But anyways, this is our setting. So we got attack at 30 milliseconds, so as slow as it'll go. Release at the fastest it will go. And that's really where we're getting all that compression, that stuff that's just really helping to pull those drums together, kind of blow out the room sound that these kick and snares have, and just kind of really open things up. Now, for this particular song, I didn't use the saturator, but there is a full saturation on here that you can really dirty these up. This would be great on, guitar, bus as well, vocal bus, things like that. So that is the bus processor. Really, we're really just using more of the compressor on this one. So this is really more just our compression. But now let's open up our mastering maximizer as well and listen to what this thing does. So if you guys are liking this video, please click the like button. So you can hear, at 50%, it sounds good. It is limiting. But when you push it to 100% for whatever reason, you have your mix on just full wet, it really cranks. It really brings out the attack in these drums. And like I was saying, the loud and the punch are the ones that I go back and forth. It might be a little difficult to hear with all the instrumentation going on, so I will just solo the kick and snares. You can hear it. So you really got to play around with this, but fortunately there's not too many things to deal with. You have the amount of, maximizing, and then, you just have your wet dry blend. You can, change how the limiters gain staging. And then of course there's a bunch of different options down here. Transparent, maybe for something really soft and gentle. But for drums, I really like the loud and the punch. They sound very similar, but you can hear the additional limiting and kind of pushing that we're doing on the loud. The wide is cool, but it gets a little bit more mid-side in there. And I don't know, sometimes it feels like it kind of changes the phasing of the drums. And then DS, not for drums. So now that we have the drum solo, let's pull these plugins in and out again. I mean, you can just hear that, first of all, the bus processor with that compression. The effect of that particular type of compression just really helps to make the drums sound just they already sound so good just right from the start. But I mean, there's no other compression going on. It's just the bus processor doing the compression, and then of course the maximizer doing the limiting. I mean, between the two of them, it just sounds so good. And this is the reason why these two plugins are on every single drum bus that I ever do. Now, of course, there are other things that I will put on a drum bus as well. Sometimes, it depends on the song, it depends on what we're going for, but sometimes a tape plugin. Now, once again, yes, this is a Softube plugin, but this thing just sounds so good, and you can really kind of crush this. This could be a different video, but this tape, between the A and the C, I probably use these the most, and it's usually up here. It's between like 8 and 10, like really getting some great saturation, a little color out of it, and of course, rounding off a little bit of those transients. So guys, that is it for this one. Now, of course, if you guys are looking to have your track mixed or mastered, all the info is in the description box down below. Click the bell notification so you guys are notified when I drop these videos. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out these two plugins and put them on your drum bus. But till the next video, I'll see you guys then.